This is a motivational story which teaches us Buddhist philosophy and techniques to calm our chattering mind and control overthinking. Once there was a large Buddhist monastery where a group of followers lived and practices Buddhism under the guidance of their master. Instead of focusing on meditation and spiritual growth, the followers spend a lot of time gossiping among themselves. There was a follower who was known for his excessive talking nature among these followers. He had a nature to heard stories from others and always gossip about others. He used to show off to other people and claim his superiority over others. He claimed that he had come from a wealthy family and could live a comfortable life while talking with other fellows. One day the master decided to test his followers. The master called them together and said,
"Each one of you have to make a commitment for the next month. Commitment should be something that will test your determination and purposefulness."
The master added more.
"If you fail, you will be returned to your old stage of learning."
Each follower got busy to make commitment for next month. But the one follower who considered himself superior to all other went to master and said,
"Master, I want a commitment that will surpasses me to others. Help me to make such commitment."
The master replied,
"Are you able to take up my commitment for you?"
The follower replied with pride,
"Master, I am capable of doing anything. So you can make any commitment for me without any tension."
The master smiled and said,
"Okay, then you should remain silent for next 1 month."
The follower replied with arrogance,
"Master, it is so easy task. Give me some tough task."
The master replied with a smile,
"First, prove yourself with this challenge."
From the next day the follower obeyed the master and became silent for next 1 month. He found it easy to be silent in early days. But as days passed the burden of silence grew heavier. The follower started to feel uncomfortable and it became uneasy for him to remain silent. It became much difficult for him as he see other followers to chatting freely. As days passed, due to his nature of talkative it became difficult for him to remain silent and he started to grow sick. So he went back to his master and said,
"Master, I cannot remain silent anymore. I will become mad as I continuous to observe my commitment. Please let me allow to break my commitment."
The master said,
"It was your decision to follow this commitment. I cannot said to you to break it. Many of your fellows have already broken their commitments. If you want to break it, you are free to make your decision. But remember, mastering your commitments shows your control on your mind."
The follower get upset and went back to his room. He locked himself in his room and started to remain in his room. Despite the chattering around him, he remained silent in monastery. After some days he went back to master and said,
"Master, I am silent from outside, but my mind keeps always chattering inside. I am struggling my inner side chattering of my mind."
Master advised the follower,
As monastery environment disturbed him, he should move to some solitude place.
The follower followed the master advice and went to nearby green forest. As days passed and follower's commitment period came to an end. But he did not went back to monastery. This caused worrying among other fellows of the follower. But the master remained confident. He felt that there is a deep reason behind the follower's decision to remain in forest and stay away from monastery. 1 more month passed but the follower did not return back to monastery. Everyone in monastery started to believe that follower might become prey of some wild animal in forest. As days passed, the followers started to forget their fellow who left the monastery. But suddenly one day, the follower returned back to monastery. Everyone was happy to see their fellow safe and sound. Now the other followers observed that the follower is different now. There was a calmness and peace in his behavior that was not already in his life. By noticing this change, the other followers gathered around the follower and started to question him about his calmness and peaceful behavior, which he did not already have. After gossiping with fellows, the follower went to his master and said,
"Is my commitment still on, sir?"
The master looked at him and said,
Yes, you are still silent. Your commitment is still on.
The other follower said to master, "He is talking to you now. How his commitment to remain silent is still on?" The master replied,
Yes, he is talking now, but he is silent from inside. His mind is completely silent now. That's why I'm saying his commitment is still on.
Then the master asked follower about his journey in the forest. The follower replied,
"Master, when I left for the forest, I appeared silent, but my mind was constantly thinking. I hope that quiet forest will help me to remain my mind silent. But my all efforts remained fruitless. Then I stopped trying to forcefully control my thoughts and started to observing my mind without judgments. Slowly, my mind became calm and all the restlessness faded away. I started to realize about my mistakes, like gossiping about others, talking unnecessary, and considering myself superior to others. By doing these practices, my mind was becoming free from impurities. I started to observe that a sense of calmness and peace started to develop in my mind. All the chatters in my mind started to fade away. Gradually, my mind became empty and I started to live in moments of peace and silence."
Then looking to his master, he said,
"Master, all it is possible because of you. Your guidance leads me to attain such a peaceful state of mind."
The master blessed him and then addressed all the other followers and said,
You see, as I always told you that we cannot stop our minds chattering forcefully, it is only possible by observing our thoughts naturally.
If we see in our daily life, all of us want to crave mind's peace, but often we are not able to achieve it. And this is only because we try to control our thoughts forcefully, without understanding the nature of mind. This makes our mind restless. But when we observe our thoughts naturally, it started to calm down, and our mind stops to chattering. So if you want to find true peace of your mind, find a quiet place and close your eyes, and observe your thoughts with patience. You will feel that your mind stops chattering naturally, and you will enjoy your life.
Like, comment, and subscribe.